Hi, I'm Sabyasachi, the Group CEO for Perfios. Perfios, as many of you would know, is the operating system for BFSI. We do end-to-end customer lifecycle management, starting from onboarding, due diligence, underwriting, decisioning, servicing, and debt recovery and collections. In this, there are multiple facets. We cover all the four pillars of BFSI, the banks and the financial institutions, the capital markets, the insurance, and the NBFCs and fintechs. That's in short. As we go through, we'll discuss a little more in detail. So I would say the first credit is to the phenomenal industry that we cater, which is very, very humbly accepting all the disruptive innovations that we have been creating. The second is the bunch of the technocrats, brilliant minds that we have as Perfians who are working for us, developing such disruptive solutions, which is so admirably being accepted by the industry. In turn, what it matters is the end consumers who are honestly accepting these changes, where they are ready to accept these financial products through different mediums of access point in real time. So I think the success can be bracketed into three parameters.
Right.
First, the industry, the ecosystem, which is ready to accept all the disruptive innovations a little ahead in time. So when we started way back in 2008, I think there were progressive financial institutions which were ready to accept the latest of the technologies, which can bring about the changes or the financial discipline to the common man. Second, the people of our company, which is Perfians, we call it amazing bunch of innovators who could create and think ahead of time what people would need tomorrow. In banking, which is purely run on trust, how do you build technologies which, without disrupting trust, can deliver superior experience to the end consumers? And third, the consumers itself, who were very, very mature to accept these solutions and help us take the lead. So I think these three, I would say, are the biggest contributor to our growth. So I think it's in the Perfios DNA. When we design or conceptualize, before designing, when we even at a conception stage, conceptualize a product, we think of security as the paramount. As I said, the industry, the ecosystem that we cater, which is banking and financial institutions, it runs on the principles of trust, because it's your and my money lying with the bank whom we trust. So the word that we use is trust. So you can't build a technology by compromising trust. So you can't build a product and security comes as an afterthought. The problem comes when it's an afterthought. The problem will not be a problem if you have designed it in a way which embeds all the security layers. So when you're designing a product, you need to think that where are the loopholes that somebody will outsmart you and can break the barrier to commit a fraud or break your trust. So you need to think about that. It's like a personal relationship, right? There are boundaries of trust. As far as you're working within that boundary and the framework, the trust is not broken. But the day we want to limp outside the boundary, the trust is broken. So you need to define a very well-guarded boundary or a framework within which the product should operate. So I think we have stayed focused on maybe called a little slow guys from launching product like every few months. We don't do that. It's like delivering one movie a year, but which is like outstanding. So it is like delivering one product a year, but which is outstanding, well thought through from a security features. And that's what we delivered, I think, year and year. Now, from a technology standpoint, there are a few things that you have to keep in mind. Who all will it touch when you are developing a product and delivering it to the customer? Our customer is a bank or a financial institution. So it will touch 3 or 4 stakeholders. The technology team of the financial institution itself, who will be your consumer, who will integrate it with the other systems in the bank. The second is the user, which are different teams in the bank who may use, or the end consumer like you and me, who would kind of use it and experience it, and they may not be fully literate and aware how to use. And that's where the next level of fraud or security breaches happen. And the third is the players which is unknown, who are intelligently tried to hack a system so that they make some advantage out of it. So I think we have addressed each of them by building different guardrails, that when it is a consumer, you have to build very, very simple layout, UX, which makes the customer aware about each and every level of security that we have ingrained, instead of hiding it. So that's how I think we have progressed well. First of all, let me tell you that the MENA region experience has been fabulous for us. 3 reasons for that. First, absolutely open for innovation. Regulators, central bank, very, very progressive, forward-looking central bank where, like, let's take an example, a year back when they called us for an open finance discussion, and today we are working with the central bank to implement the solutions across the industry. Very forward-looking approach, right? There are few countries which has done it, like in India. Now I see Africa is slowly coming up, but UAE has been fabulous in that. So first, the kind of acceptance to the innovation or latest technology has amazed me. That's number one. Number two, the end consumers, the customers like you and me, the people of MENA are very well aware how to use the technology at its best. So it's like when you create something, the kick is not in creation. The kick is when somebody is enjoying your creation, right? It's a painter. When somebody appreciates the painting is when the painter enjoys, not while he's creating. So we are the creators, right? We are the category creators. We create technology to aid financial inclusion, to aid banks or enable banks to take the financial products to the last mile. We enjoy when people love our creation, which is what? Which is adoption, when people accept it open arms because they understand the technology. They know what difference will it make to their work. That's the second bit about MENA. And the third, I see a very disciplined approach from the banks and financial institutions while they are integrating our product. Very, very disciplined. The right questions that they ask. If we have missed something, the approach is about co-creating and helping us as partners, not making the partner fail. So this amazes me about the region. So I would say these are 3 things that I've learned from different stakeholders: the central bank, the banks itself, the financial institution, and third, the consumers. When you see the trilogy of all these 3, it's like perfect picture, perfect fit. That is why I feel we have been doing well in this region. Now, coming back to the first question very briefly, see, the product requirement in each of the geographies are, or let's say the problem statements in each of these geographies are pretty much same or similar. Their headquarters in India, what we have seen, the problems, pretty much everywhere it exists. What are the problems? The problem is, how does banks or financial institutions take the financial product to the last mile and make it accessible, frictionless, and in real time, in need. So if, let's say, somebody at my place wants to undergo a surgery in next 2 days and I need the money exactly tomorrow, can that money be credited in my account exactly by tomorrow? Now that's what I call financial empowerment and financial inclusion. The problem statement, as much as in India, I have seen in all the 90 geographies. It's the same, no different. The quantum may be different, but the problem statement is the same. And because we have solved it in one of the largest geographies in India, when we took the solution out and showcased it to the financial ecosystem, everybody appreciated. They have a different language to express their problem statement, but once you acknowledge that, I think we found that this problem is common. The second bit is, everywhere there are cultural nuance. How the people accept, how they define the problem statement, how they see, as I said in the beginning, it's a principle of trust. So how do you ensure that their trust is not broken from the solution that you provide? You don't overstep on something or you don't hide something. You're being very transparent. If you're transparent, okay, my solution can cover these 90 things, but these 10 things we have to yet to develop, this is not there. So culture, some of the culture demands that transparency. So this is the second bit. And third is, I think everywhere people are increasingly seeing risk and fraud. If your solutions are anti-fraud or fraud ready, word fraud, I think the acceptance is high. So these are 3 things broadly, I would say, every geography has kind of taught us. We have experienced the similar challenge. I mean, the first thing I would say is one of the most well-managed fintech summit that I've seen across the globe. I have been to different countries attending different summit, but I think this has been most well-managed fintech summit. That's the first point. What do I mean by well-managed? You don't see people too crowded at one area, well-distributed. The sessions are well-paced out, very, very planned. You see whether people need water or food or coffee, it's available. So the smallest, tiniest of the things have been thought through. That's number one. The second is, that's the basic need. So it's Maslow's hierarchy, right? If your basic need is fit, then you think about innovation. So next is the innovation. The kind of innovators that I see around here, the people who are talking, the kind of things that are in display, amazes me. So I think people are thinking way ahead in terms of technology and AI. And I see no session ends without mentioning 10 times AI. So there is a lot of things that I'm seeing on AI.